I'm EJ, and today I will be reviewing the new Samsung Gear S2 smartwatch. I'll be honest with you guys, I got this watch for my birthday and I wasn't sure if I'll be keeping it or swapping it out for the Moto 360 V2. So this review is entirely on my opinion and experience of this smartwatch. So let's start off by talking about what's on the inside of this watch. It's sporting a dual-core 1 GHz processor chip with 4 GHz of internal storage, which I'm sure I'll never completely use up because I won't be downloading any videos or music on this thing. It also has 512 megabytes of RAM, which I also think that I won't be using up. So now it's time for the outside. It's a 1.2-inch display and it gets pretty bright if you need to use it outside. And in general, keeping it on the level brightness number 1 should be good enough to keep you through the day. So now let's talk about the watch faces. There are several watch faces to choose from. You have basic watch faces and some that are really far-fetched, but it's always great to have a variety of watch faces. I happen to like the basic large because it keeps things simple and visible. So now let's talk about the pros and the cons. The pros. Normally, the biggest X factor is the battery life. And with the Gear S2's 300 milliamp power pack, my honest opinion is that the battery life on this thing is very good. It can definitely get you through a day if using it sporadically. But I have had a few hiccups along the way. For instance, I started using it at 6 a.m. and by 4 p.m. it died. Now I did take off the power save mode, and that's because I wanted to test to see if it would last me an entire day without using it. So if you need to stretch out the battery life, make sure to enable the power save mode. For the most part, this watch is smooth and there's virtually no lag. However, one time as I came home from school, the Wi-Fi connected to my Gear S2 smartwatch and started opening all the notifications, and that froze the watch. But besides that one incident, this watch has been pretty flawless. The watch is listed as being IP68, which means it's pretty dust and water resistant. But I wouldn't go scuba diving with this thing. If you're swimming in shallow water or washing the dishes, you should be fine. It has a good mic for a smartwatch. Its quality is surprisingly clear. It has a spin bezel, so you won't have to worry about dirtying the screen. Its charging dock is both wireless and magnetic, so you don't really have to worry about it falling. It actually looks a lot like the Moto 360's charging dock, but the Moto 360's isn't magnetic. It has a pretty stable motion sensor, so when you turn to look at it, it turns on. You can set an alarm with this watch and it will vibrate when it's time. You can also answer Skype messages and reply to text messages. You can also use Google search with Samsung's Gear S voice. And now it's time for the cons. You can't get the watch's software on any Apple device. Samsung hasn't integrated it to iOS yet, like Android-enabled watches. So you have to own an Android phone to get the best out of the watch. Whether Samsung will make its watch apps iOS friendly remains to be seen, but I honestly doubt it will ever happen. At times, the band on the left side can be really difficult to remove. I'm not sure if this is just a defect with my watch, but at times, I feel like I'll end up breaking it to try to take it off, so it's something worth mentioning. The step counter is accurate for the most part, but one time I was sitting down and it said I had taken 100 steps, so I felt pretty deceived. I think one of the major advantages to the Samsung's original Gear S version was the fact that it had a speaker. The Gear S2 doesn't, which is a bummer. It was probably a huge battery drain on the last model, but I would have still liked it as an option. The Gear S2 runs Tizen, which is Samsung's version of Android Wear. Now, I'd really prefer if Samsung had chosen Android Wear, like the LG Urbane, Moto 360, and other watches, especially since there's an Apple version to the Android Wear app. So now, for the big question. Will I be keeping the Samsung Gear S2 or switching it for the Moto 360 second generation? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't have a smartphone yet. The only thing I have is an iPad Air 2. so I can't get my watch to connect to my tablet. So most of the fun and detailed things I would normally be able to check via software, I can't do. And for that reason, I'm pretty sure I'll be switching over. Now, if you own an Android phone or tablet, you should be fine. You don't have to have a Samsung phone. The app is in the Google Play Store. So for you guys, it's fine. I also checked out some sites that had nothing but good things to say about the Samsung Gear S2. One article said it sold 1,800 units in China in about 8 days. And another trusted site I checked ranked it the second best smartwatch, and the Moto 360 second generation coming at third place. If you're interested in these articles, I put a link in the description down below. Anyways guys, that's all for now. And stay tuned for my next EJ Reviews video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.